Today's class is resume design with docs. It's a hybrid program, so we'll be working with attendees both here in the library and online. My name is Jessica, and I'm a library services representative with the Plano Public Library. Here in the room, I'm joined by my colleague Diane and also Jamie. And Jamie is going to be available to help troubleshoot technical difficulties and will be moderating any questions you receive from the online attendees in the chat. Before we begin, I need to let you know some ground rules that we have set up for today's program. Our virtual attendees will be muted and have their video blocked. During the program, you will only see my screen and the video of me presenting. At the top of the screen, you can exit. You can find an exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer, including your Google account. You're welcome to ask questions or request that I repeat information at any time during today's program. For our virtual attendees, you can use the chat or the Q&A features available in Zoom. You should see the icons at the bottom of your screen. For our in-person attendees, we will ask that you raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. We will repeat all questions that we receive so that everyone has the context of that question before we move on. A recording of this program will also be available in a few days on the Plano Public Library YouTube account. And if you'd like to follow along with your Google account, we encourage you to do so. Please keep in mind that it will be difficult for us to give one-on-one assistance or troubleshoot, but we will do our best. I'll also try to take it slow in case you're practicing with me today. As a final note, as we get started today, I am a library services representative, not a job searching expert. The information we're sharing today is designed to be an overview and to help you connect with additional resources that may be helpful in your job search. Your specific approach to job searching will vary depending on a variety of factors, including your overall goals, career field, experience level, and other things. The goal for today's class is to explore using Google Docs to create and manage your resume files. We'll outline the products available freely through the Google Workspace and their applications for job seekers. We will also review the navigation, use, and basic features of Google Docs. We'll create a resume using Google Docs and also talk about saving and updating that resume from your Google Drive. Today's class is part of an ongoing program series. Previously, we've covered Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Gmail. Recordings of these classes are available online if you'd like to review that information. The last class in the series will cover job search tracking with Google Sheets. Recordings of that class, as well as today's class, will again be available online following the program. Okay. Any questions so far? All right. For today's class, we're going to continue following our imaginary patron, Sarah, who at the age of 60 recently suffered an unfortunate layoff. Sarah has a history of working in the tech sector, but is taking this opportunity to switch to working for a nonprofit. So far, Sarah has, again, used Google Drive to organize her files, Gmail to create a professional email, and used Google Calendar to keep track of important job search tasks. Today, she'll be using Google Docs to create and maintain her resume. Sarah has used Microsoft Word, but does not know much about Google Docs. Also, the last time she updated her resume was some 20 years ago. So today she'll be exploring the easy and useful features in Google Docs to create and manage a new resume. So first, what is Google Docs? Google Docs is a web application for word processing or creating text documents, basically. It's very similar to Microsoft Word. To use Google Docs, you just need to have a free Google account. The main difference between Google Docs and Microsoft Word is that Docs is a web application. It's entirely online. Sarah can create and edit documents in a web browser without installing any software or applications or a mobile app or anything else. While working in Google Docs, Sarah does not need to save her document. They automatically are saved as she makes her changes. Files that are made using Google Docs can be converted to other formats, including formats compatible with Microsoft Word. When Sarah downloads the file, she has the option to choose what file format. Docs files and Word documents are convertible. If you have a Word document, she can edit it and change it using Microsoft Word or convert it to a Google Docs and edit it there. Even though you're able to convert a Microsoft Word file to a Google Doc and vice versa, sometimes some features don't translate one for one. Formatting issues can occur when you make that transformation. For example, if Sarah were to convert a Word resume to a Google Docs, there may be some formatting issues that the table sizes or other fonts might not exactly convert when she makes that change. So we are going to look at how to make a resume in Docs. So right now I'm currently on the Google Drive page. You're able to create a new Google Docs from here. And then we'll also go over opening up a new file from the Google Docs page. Let's see. So from the Drive, all you would need to do is hit New. And then you're able to go to scroll down to Google Docs here. And it's automatically generated a new blank untitled document. Also able to go over here to Google Docs. You're able to go, this is all the Google apps on the side. If you scroll down, Docs is down here. So that'll take you to this page here, where we have that same blank document that was automatically generated from the Drive, but also there are some templates that are available for various different types of projects that you may want to make in Google Drive or Google Docs, excuse me. So if we wanted to say, instead of making a resume completely from scratch, we wanted to have something that was pre-formatted to make the resume look nice, you're able to go over here to the template gallery. And if you click on it, it drops down a bunch of different pre-arranged formatting pages for resumes, letters, and other things that you might want to make in a word processor. So we have some resume ones here. So we're able to click on one of these templates. And that again generates a new document. You now have a copy of this document in your Google Drive and you're able to edit it there. So we've now created a document from the Docs homepage. Okay, we're able to, resume is a pretty generic name. You may want to have something more specific, like perhaps the date or the year that you're making the resume to help to allow you to keep track of your documents. So we'll say this is resume for 2024, if I can spell. And click away, and that's changed the name of the document. You do generally want a professional name for the title of a resume document, because if you upload the document online, which a lot of job applications ask you to do, they are able to see the name of the file that you sent them. And then you're able to click into the page and start typing. So Sarah can change, select, get rid of things, add her own text here, update, fill out the template with her job information. When you are working with a existing template, can sometimes help to highlight the section that you would like to replace. Say this is the section for a job description that's highlighted here, and then you're able to get rid of it and then put in the job description text. You're also, if Sarah, say, had typed up this information before and just needs to copy it in for formatting, she's also able to copy and paste into the document. Okay, so we're going to jump over to a version that actually contains Sarah's information. These are some jobs that she has had in the past, and she's filled out the education sections as well. So for example, an example of copying and pasting, say she wants to add an additional job field that she had here. She's able to copy this section, hit Control-C to copy the text, and then down here, if she hits Control-V to paste, there's now an extra job section that she's able to edit, and it preserves all the formatting, but lets her have another entry in this list. So you're not limited to the number of job description entries that whatever template you picked supplied. You're able to adjust how many entries are there. You can select them and delete them, or you can copy and paste and give yourself more space. By that same logic, she's also able to copy something and then move it further up her list. So generally when writing a resume, you may want to keep things in chronological order, but sometimes some things need to move, or you forgot about something and you needed to add it later. You're able to move your entries around using the copy and paste as well. Okay. So one of the benefits of using the template to create the resume is that Sarah did not need to figure out how to make 2 columns, didn't need to do all the formatting herself, didn't need to choose all her font sizes and styles and all that. But sometimes you might want to go in and change that in a template anyway. So what you can do is, if you go into, let's see, say for example, we want to change the margins. We want to make it so it covers more of the page. Either we have a lot to say, we need a little bit more space, or we just think it'll look nicer if the text goes a little further out. So under File, you're able to go down to Page Setup, and then you're able to adjust the margins on the top, the bottom, the left, the right. Let's see. If you weren't doing a resume and you just wanted to change it to landscape and portrait, you can do that here as well as change paper size if you're going to print on a bigger piece. In resumes, it's generally best to stay on a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet in portrait mode, but that's an option. But margins, say we want really tiny margins. We want like barely a margin. So we can go in and adjust these to be smaller. And the amounts are given in inches. And then we can click that out and hit OK. And now everything's spread out a little bit. To change things like font size and color, you're able to select whatever text you want to change. Up here, we have the standard bold, italics. Oh, I lost the selection. Try again. Italics makes it all slanted. Bold makes it thicker. Underline underlines. You're able to apply all of those at once or just one. If we wanted this text to be bigger, we can just either hit the plus and the minus to shrink it that way, or you're able to go into the font size space and click a preset size or set your number custom there. But only if I click the right button. And then color is next to the bold, italics, and underline as well. Okay. Say we wanted another column in here. You're able to change that under format and then columns. I believe this is already set because we already have columns here, doesn't want to change it. So, but if we were to go over to our untitled document, our blank one, if we go to format, columns, it lets you pick just one column, 2 columns, 3 columns. And there are additional options here as well, where you can pick the spacing between them and the how much space between the columns. And if there's like a physical line blocking it. Let's see, where am I? There we go. Okay. All right. Also, if Sarah wanted to add a image to her resume, she would be able to do that. You can insert images into Microsoft Documents. To do that, you would hit Insert, Image, and then you can pull it up from your computer. If you have a photo that you wanted to use in your Google Drive, you can pull it from there. And then you're also able to search the web from here as well. Usually, when you're adding an image, you would have it on your computer or somewhere easily accessible so you would know where it is. Let's say if we do upload from computer, it'll pull up the, can you guys see that? Can it see the win on the Zoom though? Deadpool, okay. And it lets you pick from your file explorer what image you want. Okay. If Sarah wanted to include a link, all she would need to do is copy that text and then paste it into her document. So copy using Control-C and paste using Control-V. If for some reason the link, if she wanted it to be a clickable link in her digital version, and for some reason the link didn't automatically attach to that text, you can also go up to this insert link up here, which will then, it turns it into the link. As Sarah creates her resume, she'll need to keep a few important resume design tips in mind. Up at the top, her name and contact information should be accurate and professional. So she's using her professional Gmail that we set up in one of the previous sessions. Her name is very clearly stated, her address, her work phone number. As far as what she puts on the resume, she may want to customize the skills that are listed on the resume to target specifically the position that she's applying for, or remove some for jobs where that skill wouldn't apply. For each entry, you want to include, so these entries show the company's name as well as the job title that she had while she was at that position. Additionally, she also has the month, the dates that she worked at that company, so that people who look at the resume can see how long she was at each company, and between the job title and the description that is below it, see what types of responsibilities Sarah had while she was there. Okay. And then we have education down at the bottom. For education, she'd want to include details about her degrees, any certifications or trainings that are relevant to her career goals and the job that she is applying for as well. And then all of these sections, depending on what type of job she's applying for, can be adjusted so that either education is higher up in the list or there are more or fewer job listings. If she only speaks one language, then she wouldn't necessarily need a languages section, so she could remove that from the template. But if she speaks 3 languages, she could keep that list there. It's all flexible. But in general, you want to keep in mind the job position that you're applying for and adjust it to try to target that job. Okay. Now that Sarah has created her resume, she'd like to spend some time exploring the basic navigation of Google Docs and Google Drive. So first, she wants to save. She wants to make sure that her file it's done and it's saved and she's not going to lose it. Google Docs uses autosave. So up at the top here, we have this little cloud. If I'd make a change here, that cloud changes to a little circle while it saves, and then it turns into a cloud again once it's saved. If you got the little cloud with the check mark, that means it's saved. You don't have to click anything to save it. It just takes a couple of seconds. So if you make a change real quick and then close out, you might lose the last couple of things you typed, but as long as you wait a second after you've made your last change, Google saves it and it's all good. If Sarah started, again, we're back to just resume. There's a couple of different ways she could change the document name to make it more searchable, either in her storage on her computer or in her drive. There's a couple different ways you can change the name. First one is the one that we mentioned before, where you can just click in here and change it. That's now the name of the document that she's been working on. So that's an easy way to do it while the document is open. She's also able to, if you go over to, say, the Google Docs main page. This is the last thing she worked on. It's the last thing we touched. It's the one that we just changed. And then if you hit this little 3 dots here, you're able to rename it here. So we don't like the A, actually. We're going to say it's spring. And now that's changed the name again. You also should be able to make that change on the Google Drive page. So now we have that resume 2024 spring. If we right click here, we're able to rename it there as well. Okay. Sarah can also manage her files through Drive, including sharing documents, downloading files, and uploading files. Say she wants to share her resume for the 2024 spring with a friend, so that that friend can look over the resume and see if there's any changes that she should make. If she got that file selected, this right here is the share button, the little person with the plus sign next to it. You hit share, and then you're able to add people who are able to see this document. So in this case, she would enter the email address of her friend. Once she's selected who she wants to be able to see this document, she needs to choose their role, which is kind of the access down here. You control how much access somebody has and who all can see. So she can change it to be anybody with the link, or it could be just the people that she's sharing it with here. Let's see. All right. She's able to send those invites out that way. So now Sarah wants to download her document. She understands that it's saved in Google Drive, but she wants to have a copy on her hard drive just in case. To download that file, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can right click again, and there's a download button right there. There's also the download button in this bar up here while that one file is selected. So So we download that file. It's now been saved to our computer. Okay, and then to see which files have been downloaded, you're able to click on this little download button in the top right corner. You can see it, and it automatically downloaded as a Word document, looks like. So that's trying to open Microsoft Word for me. Okay. Let's see. All right. But if we didn't say we didn't want a Word doc, we want actually a PDF. If we hover over this file information, oh, where's that? Lost it. I've lost the way to do it, to download it to a PDF. That would explain it. Okay, so over here, if we go back to the resume that we were working with, if we do file, download, there we go, there's the options. So then if you download it from the Google Docs page while you have the file open, you're able to go over here and choose if you want it as a Word document or as a PDF or any other file format. Okay. And then if we click on that PDF, now we can see that that's downloaded as a PDF instead of a Word doc. She's also able to upload files onto her Google Drive. We've downloaded this PDF, but unless we save it to the drive, we can't access it from anywhere except the computer. She's done that, so we can go ahead and upload that PDF. So we're on our drive, we hit new, file upload, and then it goes, if we go to our downloads, we're able to pick that resume that we just downloaded as a PDF, and we can upload it to her drive as a PDF. All right. Are there any questions so far? All right. Okay. All right. So our imaginary patron, Sarah, is updating her resume because of her current circumstances, because she's currently looking for a new job. However, experts recommend that you update your resume every 6 months or so, even if you already have a job, just to keep that information current. In addition, your resume should be updated every time you obtain a new hard or soft skill. Certifications, major work projects, or volunteer experiences that are relevant to the career path you want, you should put that on the resume so that you have that information ready. When applying for the job, Sarah should tailor her resume according to keywords in the job's requirements. This gives her a higher chance of moving past any automated assessment software and getting noticed by recruiters and hiring managers. It also shows that she has read the job description carefully and understands what qualifications and skills the employer is looking for. Okay. So once Sarah has completed her resume, she'll need to submit it to her potential employers. Again, Google Docs automatically saves the document, but as an applicant, her resume will most often be uploaded as a PDF. In the case of an in-person submission, such as provided an updated resume during an interview, Sarah would need a printed version instead. So first, we'll see how to print so that if she wants to bring a physical copy to her interview. So if we go back to our doc here, printing is under File, and then Down to the very bottom, we have print. And opens up the print preview. You're able to select how many copies, color, and black and white. Even though the resume is in color, we've got these blue accents. If you choose the black and white option on your printer, then it will print as a black and white version. It will preserve the color. And then after she's made sure that all of her settings make sense, they're on the right size paper and everything, you hit print as a final step. And then if she's at home and has her own printer, then she'd follow the steps there. But if she's printing on a public computer, say the computers at the library, she should follow the printing instructions of the place where she is printing at. Okay. So to submit her resume as a PDF for an online submission, she would be able to do that here. We discussed downloading earlier from inside the resume. We discussed the file download options here. We go to Google Docs. Nope. Okay, so that is the way to pick to get a PDF version. You open up the file download, and then select the PDF document. Okay.
Did get a question on format.
Yes, what's the question?
So our question is, what are the best fonts and sizes required for submitting a resume?
There are a variety of fonts that will work. In general, you want something that is very easy to read and not too loud. You want something professional and you want something clear. So if you picked a template, for example, where does it show the font type? Yes, the font. So I selected in this description here, in this template, the font that was used for that is called Merriweather. It's a simple serif font. I don't think any employer would be surprised if you used Times New Roman, or I think Word's current default is like Calibri or something like that. I don't think they'd be surprised to see that. If you want to see what fonts work well together, it could help to just peruse the different templates and see which fonts they pair together and see what they look like. Okay. All right. Okay. Regarding the downloading as a PDF again, most web applications will request a PDF. Sometimes they'll request something else. And submitting in the correct format does help show that the job description has been read. So you want to make sure that you download in the correct format, and Google Docs does have a number of common options. Usually it would be a Word document or a PDF, but sometimes someone might want something else. Okay. And then, so we discussed making different resumes for different like job positions. Say, for example, say we need to make a different version of this resume for a different company. We are able to make a copy of the existing resume so that we are just editing. You don't have to redo the whole thing. You're just able to take your changes, make a copy, and then edit on the copy. So you have the original, and then you have the new one with your changes. If you go to File here, third option down is Make a Copy. And then you're able to choose the name of your copy. By default, it says copy of this. It lets you pick where in your Google Drive you're going to save it, as well as if you're translating the share positions, like when you shared it with someone to check. And then you hit make a copy. And now if we go back to the drive, we're able to see the copy of the resume is there again as well. Okay. We're also able, sometimes job applications will ask resumes to be sent via email. In that case, you're able to go over to attach it to your Gmail, if I can find the right icon. And then you'd be able to compose. This message is being sent from Sarah's Gmail. And then you're able to type in the top the person who you are addressing the mail to. You'd want to put the subject line. If the employer has asked you to do a specific subject line so that they're able to find it easy, then follow those instructions. Otherwise, in general, Sarah would probably want to include her name and the position that she's applying for and that it's a resume. So it would be Sarah Rockefeller. Resume. And then because this email is being seen by the person who she's applying to, she would want to include a brief message in the email body as effectively a email cover letter for her resume. In general, you'd want to address the person who you're sending the message to, tell them what it is, and any other relevant information they need to know, and then sign off. And then once she's done, she can go ahead and hit send, and it will be sent off to that job application. Okay. And then if she is uploading it as a PDF, then what she's able to do is that there's typically some sort of job application portal that you're applying to. So you would, and there would be an upload file, and then that PDF that you've downloaded and made a copy of can then be submitted to the website of whatever job application that you're trying for. Okay. Are there any more questions regarding Google Docs or Drive or resumes? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This concludes today's class on resume design with Google Docs. As we wrap up, we want to share just a couple more resources. Mm-hmm.
We do have another question.
Oh, we do.
Yes, the best way to explain a gap in your career on your resume.
So in general, you want to have the accurate times for when you had your job experiences on your resume. If there is some sort of gap that you feel that you need to explain for, that's probably something best done in a cover letter as opposed to in the resume itself. If you were doing any sort of a job training or education stuff while that's happening, then you would want to make sure that that's included in the education portion so they can see that you're not doing nothing during that time if you were training for something. So keep in mind that it doesn't necessarily have to be work that connects those gaps, but if there is some sort of gap that you want to explain, that's best done in a cover letter rather than in the resume itself. All right. Okay. And that concludes today's class of resume design. We do have some more resources for you today. We have a handout available for today's program. We have copies in the back of the room for those of you attending in person, and for those of you online, we'll include a link in the chat. If you need access to one of the handouts from our previous sessions, please reach out to library staff. As a reminder, we have had 2 previous programs as a part of this series, Getting Started with Google and Deadlines and Tasks with Google Calendar. You can view the virtual recordings for this session and the other programs on the Plano Public Library YouTube channel. We have 1 class remaining in the series, which is job tracking with sheets on February 27th. We have a few more career classes coming up this season that may be helpful in your job search. Job Resource Connection meets every other week at the Harrington Library, and those are workshops led by professionals, and they give you the opportunity to network, so meet some people, learn new skills, and find support during your job searching process. The next meeting is going to be February 19th at 6:30 p.m. We also have some computer skills classes. PDF Basics teaches you how to navigate PDFs, edit texts, and add signatures and save changes for a PDF upload. This class meets at the Haggard Library on March 9th at 3 p.m. and then April 28th at 2. We also have Create Your Elevator Speech, and that will help you learn to communicate who you are, what business ideas you have, or how you can benefit a company or an organization in a way that any listener can understand in a short period of time. That class meets at Haggard Library on March 19th at 6:30. If you have a short question you'd like a library staff member to answer, you can submit it using our Ask a Librarian service that's on the library website. The librarian will usually respond within 48 hours with the information that you need. If you need something that's a little bit more involved, some more one-on-one help, you're able to request about a 30-minute session with Book a Librarian service that we offer. You can request an appointment on, again, the Plano Library website. Each session is tailored to your specific needs and requests, and they work with your schedule. For more ways to use the Google Workspace, you can check out LinkedIn Learning and Udemy for online video tutorials and exercises. You have access to both of those with your Plano Library card. And with that, I believe we're done for today. Thank you guys for coming.